And joining us now on our Book Talk segment, great to welcome author of a book, very timely, of course, as Mother's Day coming up this weekend, and it is called Listen to Your Mother, What She Said Then, What We're Saying Now. We're joined today by Imig. She does a very successful blog, and it is called... we'll find out what it's called. Ann Imig joined us. Well, listentoyourmothershow.com. That's it. I didn't have the website in front of me. And Ann Imig joined us by telephone. Ann, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Sorry about that. I had the name of your website right there. Very successful, by the way, too. You do a lot of videos and different kind of writing on there, don't you?
Yeah, so the website is part of our live shows. It's sort of the hub for, we have almost 40 live shows in celebration of Mother's Day. It's live storytelling, and we videotape them all and put them on our YouTube channel. So you can go and see over 1,000 stories, all different iterations of mothering and being mothered, many different diverse readers and subjects.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I got a chance to see a couple of those online earlier in the week, and I guess YouTube has really become a place now where if you get the right type of content, people really gravitate toward it. And you found a nice topic for people to talk about.
Yeah, everybody had a mother, right, or somebody who took on that role. So it's a very universal and profound theme, and we're really excited now to also have the book version of the project, which just came out in April, just in time for Mother's Day.
Now, these are all different essays, different women that have written on different topics. Most of these performed in the live shows as well, or did you have other people do writing as well?
Yep. No, all of the writers, women and men, have been a part of the Listen to Your Mother show in some fashion.
How did you put the whole thing together? First of all, starting with the the live shows. How did you get the women together to come on that, and how did you get it going?
So we hold auditions. It's a very grassroots project. It started with my own show, just one show in 2010, and I held auditions, and I just knew that even if people didn't come, I knew enough writers in town that I knew we'd have a show. But what I didn't expect is that the people who came to the auditions, they came and they were incredible, and they just really blew me away, and I knew I was on to something. I had no idea I was starting an entirely national phenomenon. I had no idea of that. And the way it works now is that people who want to do their own Listen to Your Mother show apply to bring the show to their town. And like I said, we've had almost 40 live events going on this season. We tape them all for our YouTube channel. And we just try to get the word out as much as possible so that people will come and share their stories at auditions. So even if they don't end up in the show, they have a chance to be heard, because everyone has a story.
And these essays and the live stories, I mean, some are humorous, I imagine, but some kind of sad and poignant, right? I mean, it's not just all comedy. So it's a mixture, isn't it?
It's not all comedy, no. It really is a moving. We try to take our audiences, whether the book reader or in our live shows, we try to take the audience on a journey for all the iterations of motherhood. I like to call it the beauty, the beast, and the barely rested.
When you put this together, were you kind of surprised at some of the stories people would tell? Maybe you didn't expect them to maybe talk that openly about certain things?
I think because this all started because I'm a blogger. I wasn't surprised because I've been reading true stories of motherhood online for years and sharing and supporting other writers, but I knew my community would be surprised, and that was really the goal, is to bring this really stark truth-telling to my real-life community so they could experience it, and the reaction was really profound. People were really moved and excited, and it's just grown and grown.
Yeah. Do you have an example, maybe a funny one, and maybe one of a kind of a poignant one that kind of stands out for you?
Sure. One really funny one is by Jenny Lawson, who's known as the Blogast. She's a New York Times best-selling author, and she's truly hilarious. The title is Prepare to be Judged and Possibly Stabbed. It's a whole riff on mother judgment and sort of the information overload that we're faced with as modern American moms in terms of what we feed our children and how we parent and what we do and we don't do. And she just breaks it down into a truly hilarious essay, and one that is, I think everyone can see a little piece of themselves in, whether they like it or not, if they're raising kids right now. Taya Dunn Johnson's Peanut Butter and Jelly falls under the more poignant and hard category, and it's about how this woman who married her high school sweetheart and had brought a son into the world, and they were like peanut butter and jelly until her husband died suddenly and very unexpectedly, and she was left to parent her child alone, and how peanut butter without jelly is really hard to swallow. And there are a lot of more heartbreaking essays in the book, but they also hold the most hope, I think, and make our readers feel like no matter what they're going through, nobody's alone, and somebody else is a little farther down the path. And these essays sort of act as an outstretched arm, I think, beckoning to people going through something.
Yeah, just reading through the essays myself, you get that impression. Everybody's has a unique story, but not every story is unique to yourself. So if you find it in other people's
That's exactly
background,
right.
It helps, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah. You have children of your own, so I guess you're getting your own stories as well, you can tell, right?
Yeah, and I do have a story in the book called The Children Ate My Gratitude. I have two boys. They're 8 and 11. At the time I wrote this essay, it was a couple of years ago, and I discovered that my children had quite literally been eating these tiny scraps of paper that I had been writing little prayers of thanks on, and it was just such a hilarious metaphor for motherhood that I had to write about it and include it in the book.
Yeah, that's great. Well, it's a complicated relationship, mothers, and I only know as a son, but I would imagine mother's-daughter is complicated as well, but obviously the most important relationship you're going to have, but very timely, as we said, Mother's Day coming up this weekend, and just coming out, Listen to Your Mother is the name of the book, What She Said Then, What We're Saying Now, and Imig has been our guest, and give out that website again, people get a hold of the book or watch the videos.
Yes, listentoyourmothershow.com.
Great, and appreciate you taking a few minutes, and hopefully we can talk to you again. Thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
If you'd like to order the book we're talking about, please go to DougMilesMedia.com and enter the author's name in the Amazon search box. Thank you for listening. Please come back soon for more conversations here at DougMilesMedia.com. This has been a presentation of Doug Miles Media, all rights reserved. You can listen to or download previous programs at iTunes, Stitcher.com, or DougMilesMedia.com.